wanted to do a little sweet, soft ASMR video showing some of the lovely videos I took the other day on a very windy day here in Edinburgh. And I thought, okay, what do I want to say while the video plays? And I decided to read some of my poetry to you. At some point, I'm gonna do a poetry book, which I look forward to doing. I want it to be really pretty, like a really aesthetically sort of fantastical little journey, hopefully. But I don't have that done. When I do, I will write it in the description, so you can go look at it. But for now I'm going to read some poems. They're not really, I don't know if they're completed or not, but they're almost there. Sometimes when I rework poems, I add in some rhyming schemes, but not always. So these are more stream of consciousness, sort of working through emotions kind of poems. And I wrote these that I'm going to read when I was in Berlin. I lived in Berlin at the start of 2020. Right at the start of COVID, I moved to Berlin about 3 weeks before lockdown in Germany. It's crazy. But I kind of like when the world gets strange. So although it's frightening, I also have good memories of it. And also, I didn't know anyone. I knew a few people, but not many. And but it was nice because no one else was seeing anyone either, because they weren't allowed. So I felt like I wasn't the only one who was lonely. I felt less alone in my loneliness, you could say. So, this poem doesn't have a name. They don't have names yet. There is no right or wrong here, and probably no one will read these words. I will tuck them here, in their pocket upon this page. Forward, forward I push my pen to march, asking it to pick up stray words along the footpath. This is no midnight walk, where the darkness is a thriller, and I get to wear a velvet cape and carry a heavy candlestick in defense from marauders of jewels and sanity and peace. This is no vibrant storm where the heavy raindrops are dripping heavily from trees, and drenched cotton sticks to my skin after a run and brings me to life under its clawing weight. This is just day, a Saturday, and there's no room to hide and no time to try. No Arabian sojourn will sweep my mind away from all of this. Away from regrets and shame and unmade beds and the hunt for elusive toenail clippers. This is it. For now, this has to be enough, because this is all I get. And while my brain does feel like marshmallow, and if I could labyrinth myself away, I would, but I can't. I must stay here. I must learn to live in this world tiny moments into dioramas, tiny worlds with massive care, thrashing storms out of teardrops. Let sizzling onions in a cast iron pan spirit me not away, but back to here. The end. I guess it was clear from the long pause that was the end. The videos you're seeing, by the way, are from Hollywood Park. There's a pathway that runs along one stretch of the perimeter, and I love it. Gonna have a drink of my coffee now. Here's another one. To sink my feet deeper into the sand, to fully embed myself in everything, to stop running away from feeling left out, leaving myself even further out, but shouting that I want to belong, and embracing each flinching muscle that longs to run, asking it to stay. To sink my very teeth into every dense and difficult mass. To swim deeper until I can't touch the bottom, nor can I even see my feet, or what else might be swimming in these waters. Waves and waters lapping against my ears. Cool waters that soak the ends of my hair. Cool waters that could end it all. But they aren't likely to. I am just catastrophizing. As my body and mind catastrophize and make mountains out of molehills. And that too I want to sink my feet and teeth down into. I want to be here, not adrift, but planted, facing bravely the leaves and the dust on the wind. And now, a poem about being in a new city. I know that it's perfectly normal to be lonely when you move to a new city, but I feel especially lonely when I'm outside and I can hear the leaves of tall trees rustling, and I look up to see them move in a certain particular way, unique to a certain kind of wind, moving as if there's a steering. And I look up at their dancing in their deep vibrant green against the blue sky. Not a sunny blue, but a blue struck with grey and navy, subtly darker but strikingly so. Like how the emotions in a person's eyes can speak volumes with the change of merely a shimmer. And I'm standing still and watching the leaves, and I'm so moved that it's beyond feeling moved. It feels as though my soul could grow wings. It feels as though I'm being drawn upwards towards some heaven, and at the drop of a hat I could cry at the scene that no matter how I try, I can't do justice to describe. And everyone else walks by. They don't even look up. And I just don't understand why. Once in a while, I'd love to get a nod from a stranger, to know that they saw it too. And I know you're out there, you who sees the same. You who would stand still in the moving world, eyes and soul drawn up by the stirring green leaves, dancing on the breeze. I'm almost moved to tears just reading that again, 'cause I really think that leaves dancing on the trees in the wind is just... It is beyond words, it's just so electric. I love it. Here's just a short poem about how erratic my emotions can be, and it's very tiring, but this poem made me feel a bit better about it. I have beautifully delicate chemistry, like fine antique pink silk. I have beautifully delicate chemistry, and I am a garden of wildflowers, tall, with green stems and little purple heads, fine ivy climbing the sides of the red brick wall, built for protection, and shade from a weeping willow, and a swing for resting and swinging. Seems a bit silly, but I just liked the imagery. I'm gonna have another sip of my coffee. I have a lot of writing books. This is me talking now. This is not me writing or reading. I have a lot of old writing books that I've been going through and reading old poems and trying to think what I might turn into songs or just publish as poems. What I tend to do is, I tend to just write when I'm feeling low, and or I try to. I haven't been good at doing it lately, but I have been trying to. So I'll write, and just sometimes I'll just write something into what feels like a poem. I'm sort of just writing and writing, and then it sort of feels like a wind takes me, and then an imagery will pop into my head, and I just sort of describe that image. And then, after writing for a little while, I often look back at it and think, that's a poem. And then I write poem in capital letters with a big box around them, so that when I'm looking through again, I can see what's a poem and what is just, writing. And sometimes the poems I look back at are really bad, and other times I like them. Let me try and find another one. Okay, I had to go through a number of pages to find another one. I guess I didn't create much then, but it's okay. I had already actually moved to Glasgow at this point, where I stayed for a year before moving to Edinburgh. I didn't like Berlin. I only stayed there for 6 months. The tree leans forward stiffly, unable to bend at the waist. Its branches reach out more nimbly and dance on the wind. Just a month ago this tree had a flock of browning leaves, and the one just behind it had all the colors of autumn. Reds, purples, greens, yellows, and brown. And when the wind ran headfirst roughly into the trees, and when the sun of an evening elbowed its way out of the clouds, the dance of colours and shapes, the brightening and vibranting of those colours, and the taking flight of some of the tree's constituents, setting off into and onto the wind, spinning in the air and then drifting to the ground, curled my lips up like fish hooks, and I could feel my eyes shine like marbles, feel them dance in my skull. So in love with the sheets of sunlight strewn across my view. This is what it means to be happy. Plump and fall to the brim of the colours and shapes of autumn. I really like that one. I remember it well. I remember the scene well. Because from where I lived in Glasgow, I was on the, I think I was on the 4th floor, anyway, the top of the building, and it overlooked a garden and a big, beautiful tree. I think maybe a sycamore or a horse chestnut. And, you know those big leaves with 5 fingers? And the leaves slowly turned all of the colors of autumn. It was so pretty. Then of course the leaves were gone over the winter, and then to see them grow again in spring was absolutely lovely. Right now I live on the ground floor, and it's nice to live on the ground floor in many ways, but I miss having a aerial view. I quite like being able to look down on the world, which sounds very condescending. I don't mean it that way. I just mean having a vantage point like a cat. And in my bedroom in Glasgow, there was a sort of a bay window type thing. Well, no, I guess it wasn't a bay window, but there was like, you know, quite a broad windowsill that you could sit on. And I would perch there and watch the world. I loved it. Okay, let me see if I can find one more. I mean, I certainly can find one more. You know, if you are someone who struggles with feeling down a lot and kind of, you know, if you find the world quite hard to be in, you might find writing to soothe you. I find that it soothes me in the moment, but also when I look back, as I am now, I just have so much compassion for myself. When I was, you know, in those moments where probably I wasn't feeling very compassionate for myself. So, it's quite special in that way. Still looking. This one's maybe quite personal, but I'll read it anyway. This was early 2021. I had met a man, and I liked him a lot, and he did not return the sentiment. But he also wasn't clear about that. You know, when people think, I'll just distance myself, and then she'll understand. It's just like, no, just use words, please. That would be nice. But he also, he didn't really distance himself. It was very mixed messaging. Very much mixed messaging. He was a jackass. And, I kept hearing from him for like 2 years afterwards. It was ridiculous. Like, he was clearly not interested, but also didn't cease contacting me, so I had to just block him. But, at the time, I really struggled with, the rejection. So this is just a short little one. I seem to have written it in 3 verses. All the other ones have been just one single verse sort of thing. This one I wrote into 3 verses, so I don't know if I had in mind to turn it into a song. And I may yet do that. I want to say that it was just the emptiness that had me cling to you like a life vest. I want to say that I must have made a mistake, must not have been quite awake. This man won't do, nor these arms that hold you. The smell of his skin, well, I've had him. Now come on, move on. You can't want him if he doesn't want you to. And his nails on your skin, well, but I can't have him. I don't want to end on that one, so let me find one more. I don't have any more in this book. Let me find another book. Well, I don't have to find one, it's right here. This is one I wrote last September. I really liked the imagery in this one. I have been zoning out all morning, and I long for simpler days. But then they never were simple. Only in my mind's eye. The day I spent outside of Barcelona. Wait, that should read. The days I spent outside of Barcelona. In that town that I felt it was wise to move to. Where, outside my window, the neighbor's boy would jump into his pool, and I wanted to meet him, to be invited, but I felt too ugly, too outside, too apart. This brain keeps me apart from the world. It is my great suffering to see it all, to delight delight in it, and to feel so apart from it. Oh, to shatter the glass that surrounds me, to let the air in, to let it all flood in. It can be done. It is just glass. The trick is that it must shatter each day. I think the glass blowers work overtime through the night, and I think they labor to protect me. I think we've built this pattern together, the glass blowers and I in panic and pain, call out for help. The glass blowers, they come, and they resurrect or reinforce the great wall made of Murano glass. And it protects me, and I can't breathe. They forget to put in vents, or the vents are too small. I crouch there at the brass vents and hungrily sip in the air and listen for sounds of life outside. All the life that I can see so clearly through the glass, the life that I love so dearly, the life that I adore, the life that I long for. I know what I have to do. I know that I have to show the glass blowers that I can live in the world. I have to show them that I can handle it. That I don't need their lovingly erected wall. And don't they need rest too? Don't we all need rest? Rest. And then to wake up unprotected, unsheltered from the winds of change, unsheltered from life's pain. But if my work is to shatter through glass each day, I will do it. Kindly, though, as it is such magnificent work. Maybe I can use the shards for decoration. I bet I can. I bet I can melt it into fine art. Crystal chalices, chandeliers that stop light in its tracks and refract it into the lights, and refract it into the colors of its choosing. I can refract light with my pieces of glass. I can choose the colors. I can paint this world. I am not standing behind impenetrable glass. I am standing before burgeoning art, just waiting to be exploded, just waiting to refract. That poem makes me want to cry. But not really in a bad way, in a sort of hopeful way. So I'm going to go now because I'm really hungry. I'm going to make some sausages and eggs and beans because I'm in the mood for something like that, and I have those things. Then I'm going to go out and I'm going to get a coffee, and I'm going to come home and do some cleaning, and I'll do some more recording too so that I can get another video out soon. I hope you enjoyed my poems. I hope that you also like the scenes of Edinburgh. It was such a pretty day. And, oh, yes, of course, please like and subscribe. And, if you think you know someone who would like this video, please share. That would be really appreciated. Okie dokie. Thank you. Thank you for watching and listening. I so appreciate